Shalom Aleichem, everyone. Hope everyone had a wonderful, wonderful week. We find ourselves Erev Rosh Hashanah. Rosh Hashanah is right over here, around the corner. And I wanted to share a thought about Rosh Hashanah. And of all the Chagim, I think Rosh Hashanah is by far the most complex. And that complexity reflects itself in many, many different ways. Yom Kippur is relatively straightforward. It's a day of tefillah, of tshuva, of being in the Beit Knesset, of tainus. We are angelic on Yom Kippur. Pesach, Yetzias Mitzrayim, Shavuos, Kabbalas HaTorah. Rosh Hashanah has a real complexity. It reflects itself in the halacha. For example, there's a machlok between the Ramah and the Shulchan Aruch whether one is allowed to fast on Rosh Hashanah or is it a yontiv with a mitzvah suda. Shulchan Aruch says no fasting. Ramah says yes, it's a nice thing to do to fast on Rosh Hashanah. Do we say hal on Rosh Hashanah? So the Rambam tells us there is no hal on Rosh Hashanah. It's found in Perek Vav, Halacha Gimel of Hilchos Megillah. Perek Gimel Halacha Vav. And the Rambam tells us no Halel. Why? Because it's a day of Pachad V'yira, and it's not a day of Simcha Yesera. Interesting formulation. Pachad Yira, yes, not Simcha Yesera. So there is Simcha, albeit more muted. And the Nigunim that we sing. Rosh Hashanah, we have a very, very heartfelt, intense, emotional nigunim with Nisana Tokef, and in many, many shuls right after Nisana Tokef, there is this march, a Russian marching song. We're very upbeat as we move into Kedusha. The nigunim reflect this duality. It's a complex day. The shofar itself reflects the complexity. The shofar, on the one hand, is a shofar of cries. The cries of Eim Sisra, Ginuchei Konach, Yilula Yalil. On the other hand, the shofar is also the shofar of Geula, the shofar of the Akedah, the shofar of Yovel, of redemption, of Matan Torah. So there's a real duality. What's the nature of that duality? How is that duality resolved? So I think the simple answer is yes, Rosh Hashanah is a day of Hamlochas HaKadosh Baruch Hu, where we coronate the king. And that king is the Melech Malchei Hamlochim, is the Ribono Shel Olam, meaning the creator of the world, the all-powerful, the omnipotent, the almighty. And that's intense. And there's a duality. Imagine the almighty, the Borei Olam, is judging us. That's pachad. That's yira. Maybe I should fast. On the other hand, the Almighty, the Borei Olam, is interested in me, has a relationship with me, is seeking me out as I seek him out. HaMelech Basadeh, looking for a relationship of love with me. Whoa, that's simcha, that's empowering, that's incredible. So the relationship with Hashem will hold with it a double-sided coin. Two sides of the very same coin. On the one hand, yira, perhaps even pachad. On the other hand, empowerment, simcha, joy. I have that relationship that's in my potential with the Borei Olam. And that, I think, is the duality of Hamlochas HaKadosh Baruch Hu. That's Rosh Hashanah. Imagine, for example, B'derech Mashal, a person, Rahman al-Itzlan, has a terrible accident. He's in the hospital. He's paralyzed from the waist down. He doesn't feel anything. Week after week goes by, and they're testing. The doctor comes in with a hammer after 6 weeks, and he starts pinching, or pliers, and starts pinching the toes. And at some point, the patient cries out in pain and with a great laughter in his eye. Why is he, at the same moment, he's crying out in pain and he's smiling, he's laughing, he's so happy. Why? Because he can feel. He can feel. And therefore he knows there's something there, there's something meaningful. He feels pain, but he feels. And that's already a source of great simcha. So we should be zocha to use this day, these days of Rosh Hashanah, the days of Aseret Yemei Tshuva, and of course Yom Kippur, to feel Hashem in our lives, to feel Hamlochas HaKadosh Baruch Hu, that we have a relation with the Borei Olam, which might at some points be awe-inspiring and awesome at the same time. We should be zocha, everyone. It should be a wonderful year, a ksiva v'chasima tova to all our friends, and of course, a wonderful Shabbos Kodesh.